Commander Cockins and Captain here yet again for another Trekyards Mission Briefing, your weekly dose of the variety show. It's Monday, we are still on FASA ships, and as you guys know, this is the relaxed discussion show. We're going to take a look at a ship that I probably have never seen before, or is in our top 10. But Stuart's a fan of FASA, I'm not so much, because I don't know anything, and this is a great discussion to work out what makes these ships tick. So Stuart, what are we doing today?
Well, I think today we'll take a look at a Klingon ship from FASA, get away from the Federation ships. And one of my favorite FASA Klingon designs was the Klingon D-10, the Riskadh class cruiser. I don't know how to say it. Riskadh. Yes. There we go.
There you go. Yep, a cool looking Klingon design that measures in at around 262 meters in length. According to FASA information, this design was strongly influenced by the famous D7. It was designed to help counter Starfleet's new Constitution-class cruisers. The ship was created after the end of the 4 Years' War and supported some of the newest and most effective shields and weapons the Empire had to offer.
It also actually used the exact same command pods and main booms as the D7, so it kind of eliminated the need for new production facilities. But enough of the history for now. Let's just take a first look at the pictures and discuss.
Okay. This one.
Yeah, it's like a double hull configuration style.
It's already more aggressive, which I like. Although I would have preferred some points.
Claw-like.
Yeah. Well, I would have preferred some points at the back, a la the Renegades Klingon battlecruiser. But tell me, Stuart, what was the first time you remember seeing this, and what was your first impression of this? Because these Klingon ships are very much, I mean, all the FASA ships are, but these are very much like, how can we mould the D7 formula? So I'm interested to see what you thought when you were young, or whatever age, oh, it's the same, but very different. Like, what were your thoughts?
I was a kid, and so I was very influenced by just how things looked and how cool it was. And so I ended up getting the miniatures. Here's the FASA miniature for it.
You've got one. Nice.
I got the little Klingon symbol painted on it, but the wrong way. I have the top pointing up. My brother actually did that for me, the paint job. This isn't going to focus. I don't think I have it set to auto focus. But very, very cool design, and it's the same, roughly the same size as a D7. Because they use the same boom apparently. So I was really impressed with it. Like I said, like you said, it looked more aggressive, looked a lot meaner, and I incorporated things into it that I don't know if they actually have. I got like these painted red, the end of these tips, as a weapon, which we need if they were a torpedo or something. So yeah, I just loved it, and I thought it was a great looking ship.
Cool. Yeah, my first take on it really, I've seen it before, but mostly when you started sharing FASA designs, and it's again very derivative D7, but the D7 is an interesting balance of sleek but also cumbersome, and it's that nice mix. This sort of adds that bulk that the D7 was sort of missing. I'm not sure if it's in necessarily the right proportions, but it does fill that hole. And in terms of, well, it's the D10. I think it's the D10.
Yeah, the D10.
Yeah, so it does feel like, I wouldn't say an evolution, but I would say a made for purpose, an armored up, designed. You send in 3 of these and 7 D7s, and they're more command ships, and they take a lot more fire. That I like, and there's certainly a lot more just space for things, for troops, for weapons, for I like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it is a troop transport or anything, but yeah,
probably not. But
I need to know a reason for that extra bulk. They did say in the FASA information it was designed to combat the new Constitution class, so who knows? All right, so let's move on to the next picture. This is a great shot of it from the top. And really, you don't think the bulk is? Do you think the bulk is too much? Is that what you were saying?
Well, the fact that it ends on a flat line damages the overall aesthetic. It needed something else there. Otherwise, it's sort of just a triangle. It does kind of look like a bat with drawn-in wings. In the shot.
Well, it's one of those ships that kind of looks okay, and then you get a model of it, and you think, "Wow, that's amazing." To play with the miniatures, nice. And I don't know if the back actually have some impulse engines and some black doors painted there, but I'm not sure if it's actually more shuttles. Perhaps maybe that's why this is the way it is.
See, I think
Because when I was a kid, I just painted it to look cool. So I don't know if I put shuttle bay doors in there because they're there or because I just thought they should be.
see, that's an interesting point, and I think you've hit the nail on the head there. Obviously, the D7 does have basically a flat back, roughly, but they've got the external pod that is on the top. This is sort of gone in on. I think that needs to be continuing at the back. That would make it feel more natural. And then if you can imagine, the entire back is engines, like really heavy duty impulse engines. That would give this such a, because then you can counter the bulk and actually make it more maneuverable than Constitution classes. So it's got more firepower, more armor, and more maneuverable, and more just full speed. That I could see being, let's just push the design to the next level. Just like the Enterprise B, they added those extra pods. Boom, you've got extra engine pods, as it were.
Yeah, and having said that, yeah, you're right. The D7 is basically flat at the back, except the struts angle out, but it's got that pod that kind of breaks up that profile or that silhouette from the top. Yeah. So if this thing had a pod in the middle, or even two pods on each side,
that
that's
might
make for an interesting looking ship.
I mean, it does have one pod, like I said, but it's concealed. But two pods is a good idea. And then you could put a like a Vorchai. You could put something between them, and put a torpedo there, and suddenly you've got a torpedo at the front, torpedo at the back, and then you'd be taking after the Miranda. But hey, why not? It was an effective design.
The Trekyards D10 needs to happen now.
Yes, we like doing this. Again, as I say, with all these sort of odd ships and fan designs, all these ships are almost there, but just a little bit off, because again, they did them in a different time. Now, to fit them into continuity doesn't take a lot, but there's things you could do. I'd be excited to see what you could take with this design. But let's move on to the next picture, a scale chart. Oh wow, that is actually interesting. Wow, it's big.
It is big. Although, is it just me, or does the boom on that thing look thicker than a D7's boom?
Much
so
thicker.
To say that it uses the same boom is kind of...
Well,
I can see the same command module, the same front part.
Yes. I think it's the same, but they've armored it up. That'd be my interpretation of that.
Could be.
Like they had a spare thing and they just add an extra deck around it, sort of thing. Like it's always an interesting thing when you look at the D7 or the Katinga compared to the Connie. You think of them as about the same size, but it's actually quite a lot smaller, which is then worries you, because when you move into DS9, the Katinga hasn't got bigger, so it's actually very, very undersized, and that's the main ship of the fleet. The Vorchar is very much needed. So this is an interesting sort of step in between. It does feel more bulky now. It has not got any of the elegance of the Katinga and the, again, that says why it's such a good design, Katinga and the Connie. But that armor, and I didn't notice, but there is that little bit of there is that little gap between the struts and the points, which I kind of like. I wish that was a bit more prominent. That's interesting.
Well, it's just like a cutout, so they do hang down a little bit, but they angle in.
Yeah.
Just like the D7 does.
Yeah,
which mine actually don't angle in. I have mine straight, so can't really see.
I think if you did have two pods at the back, then it would really feel like the next evolution of D7. Like it's all the same basic shapes, but a new design, but also bulked out. I think that would really, up it a bit.
Yeah, like you do that, and I can see it being a carrier or
just a command ship, just the flagship of a fleet. Cool.
All right, so let's move on to the next picture. This is a really cool schematic, actually.
Oh,
color.
that front view. Oh.
It is kind of gross, isn't it?
Oh.
So let's take a look at this for a second. So officers 30, crew 485, troops 320. It is a troop transport.
Yeah.
There we go. 8 disruptors, 1 photon torpedo.
Right.
And the KCC Mark V main computer. That's a great advancement over the D7.
They really love to pack in data. Yep.
So its mission type is a battle cruiser.
Right.
Range 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, the D series is the 2 upgrade. I do like the side view. It's a kind of interesting view. Each view gives you a totally different perspective on the ship. Like if you were to be given either views, like the side and the front, you would not draw the top. That's not what you would bill it as. It doesn't have that feel, which I don't know what that says, but it says something. The side view, again, looks like a child has just sort of draw curves. Doesn't work. The front view is awful. Awful. But the top view's really good. Like, the top view has so much potential. Oh. Would it look better if they'd actually angled the 2 points down into much more of a bird of prey style? Like, it's now sort of just a step in between. Like maybe a 30 degree angle, maybe? Is it more like that?
Possibly. I can see that. It also would have looked better if they had the engines mounted straight, like I have, because it looks better.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it looked better. I thought it looks better from the top, but yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't look better from the front.
No, but you change. You can modify those struts, even bring them down to the bottom plane, and then have the engines hang off of them. It would make it look a lot better just doing that. Then putting 2 pods on the back to kind of break up that straight line, I think would make it look amazingly better.
And you need details on the bottom. You need something.
There's lots of detail on the bottom, but you can't see it in any of the pictures. There's lots of detail on the bottom.
Well, non-flat detail. I'd like. I mean, I think natural to put 2 more torpedo pods down there. Not. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Even if it's just the bottom of the front part, just put up 2 bulbs on the bottom, sleek it back into the hull a bit, and then you got 3 torpedo launchers at the front. Or in the ship. That'd look pretty cool.
Well, it says here it's got 4 and aft mounted disruptors and only 1 torpedo, which we can assume with FASA the torpedo's the deflector on the front there. Which, is it a deflector or is it a torpedo?
No, it's a torpedo.
Originally it was designed to be a deflector on the D7 for TOS, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, but you never saw weapons in TOS really, so apart from disruptors, so everything else is torpedoes, so it's fine. It's come into its own as torpedoes. But anyway, the next picture is a detailed shot, very different style.
This looks like it's done for a game, for sure. This looks like the Katinga version, because it's kind of armored up.
Well, it kind of looks like the Kronos 1 version, with the red plating. Yeah. It's got an aft torpedo now.
I was just going to say that.
There you go. Shuttle bay doors, there you go, and engines, 3 shuttle bay doors. I think it works pretty well, actually.
Yeah. So I painted mine wrong then, because I painted the impulse engines as shuttle bay doors, and the shuttle bay doors as the engines.
What's wrong with fictional designs? I mean, it's interesting. I like. Well, okay. What do you think of the different pointed curvature of the sort of top 3/4 view? Because that's a lot more. I don't know. It's a different vibe. What do you think of that version?
Well, I actually kind of like the other version better as far as the points go.
Yeah.
These look.
It looks more Dominion for some reason. I'm getting more of a bug ship vibe.
Oh, I can see that. You take the boom off of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although that front and back view looks even more silly now with all these great details, and it's a flat thing. Sides alright though. Sides better.
Yeah. Yeah, that back view does look kind of odd. All right. Anyway, let's move on to the next picture. This is a great shot of the D-10 from one of the FASA magazines or the recognition manual. I can't remember which. And it has one of the Gull class cruisers beside it, which is another ship we need to look at some point. But it's cool to see. I kind of like the FASA Klingon fleet. I think they did a great job of kind of diversifying the Klingon design, but keeping it look Klingon. So, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it, but it's just a cool shot that I thought we should include for all the FASA lovers out there.
Yeah, obviously they've took creative license with the boom length in the proportions. But it's it's interesting.
Yes.
It's interesting. And the next photo is basically the reverse shot and different style of command zone for this Gull ship, you said. Really odd design.
Gull, yeah.
Yeah, really odd. Really, really odd.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine that's making a model of it. It's really cool to see in person, like a big 1,000 scale model. But yeah, seeing the D-10 back there, just kind of I don't know. As I just said, the Klingon fleet in FASA is really impressive.
As a 3/4 and like part of a fleet, that shot, just that little bit at the back of the shot, it fits in so well. to what you think the Klingons are. So that works. But the next photo is, I suppose that... oh no, it's a slightly different one. It's a slightly different version of it, of the game version with... oh, look at the aggressive paint scheme and the dark reds of that intake valve and those... I have no idea, weapons at the front of the points? No clue. Ugh.
That would make sense. That would make sense to have weapons at the front of those pods. I think they'd be disruptor turrets. If not, photon launchers or something. Like I said, I painted mine that way. But I don't know what those red boxes are. You said intake?
Well, the top... the top...
oh, yeah.
slits, they are. I have no idea what the other things are. Maybe they're just running lights. Really bright, red, big running lights.
Well, red is scary.
Red is very scary. No, yeah, it looks less Star Trek-y now with the paint scheme. I don't know. I don't know.
It looks like Klingon Academy-ish.
Yeah.
Looks like a mod for that, almost.
Does this not look like a smaller ship to you now, for some reason? I don't know, that back bit just looks like almost a one-person fighter. And so, I don't know, it's just the way it's been detailed, just the very big details just don't look... it doesn't have the subtlety of a huge ship. Small thing, I don't know what I'm going on, but, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's move on to the next picture, because it's the same model.
Whoa. Well, they've doubled the bumps at the bottom.
Yep. Doubled the bubble. And it's got some red, weird lighting between the engines and the hull, which is kind of menacing, actually. Another rear torpedo launcher, or disruptor, whatever.
Torpedo. Yeah. And the next one is roughly the same model, but
almost.
detail.
I mean, if you look at the back there, there's a sensor torpedo launcher thing.
Yep.
And then there's impulse engines and no shuttle bay doors, but it looks like more weapons.
Possibly.
Or additional engines.
Yeah.
So, not much else to say.
And the last photo is what I assume is the original FASA schematics we sort of looked at before, but it's the full author view. And any closing thoughts on the Klingon D-10?
Great looking ship, and I think with again, same thing we said about the Chanley, with a few different tweaks, you could really make this a much better, more aggressive looking ship. It's almost like this is the vanilla version, like you like to say.
Or the prototype version. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely a lot of room for change, and I think a few small alterations would really make it look a lot better. But a great looking ship nonetheless.
Yeah, and a ship with a lot of potential. They're on the right track, but you know it doesn't fit as is. Apart from the front view, with the top view, sorry, it doesn't fit as is. But I think you could do some, just bring it into the continuity. That's all it is. Just make the details fit. But yeah, interesting design, and yeah, works for the most part. So good pick there, Stuart. And that is it for this week's Trekyards Mission Briefing. FASA. I hope you guys like these different elements of the Trek world. We've done fan film ships, we've done fan ships, we've done STO ships, whole variety, some great diverse designs, and we'll keep looking at different styles of ships. But if you want to help us look at all this great Trek, then please either go to our website and click the donate button and give what you can, or if you want to be a monthly supporter and really help us out, then go to our Patreon and give what you can. And all that just goes towards helping us put the time into the show, help me make the renders, get better kits, go to conventions, all sort of cool stuff, and without your support we can't keep going or grow. So thanks guys in advance. Tune into our other shows, as do a hell of a lot each and every week, but until then, I'm Commander Cockings.
And as always, I'm Captain Foley.
We will see you next time.